Hello and welcome to this virtual open house. My name is Chuck Witt and I'll be talking about my AP Physics 1 course. So I'll give you a little bit of background information on myself. We'll talk about the 2020 AP exam scores. We'll look at course expectations, grading and assessments, the Canvas page, which is the course management page, and then also some College Board resources. So a little bit about myself. My wife and I live in Downers Grove. We have 3 children. My oldest, Allie, is a graduate of Temple University in Philadelphia. She now lives in Boston working for Liberty Mutual Insurance. Our middle child, Ethan, he is a senior at Iowa State University studying aerospace engineering, which is very exciting for me in my physics background. And then our youngest, Nolan, he is a senior at Downers South High School and a member of the cross-country and track teams there. This is my 17th year at Lyons Township. It's been a great ride. 26-year teaching overall. I taught at Fenwick High School 9 years prior to moving over to Lyons Township. I think all but 3 of those years I've taught both math and physics and loved the being in the 2 disciplines. And even though sadly I don't teach any math courses this year, physics is a great application of all the math. So I still get my math fix with this course for sure. I do also coach the sophomore math team, which is geometry content, and that's typically the math course I teach if I have any math in a given year. I do athletic supervision, which means I kind of help out the athletic directors with so many sports going on and 2 campuses. There's too much for them to cover. I will help out in both the fall and spring seasons. This year, sadly, not quite as busy for me since there's not as many events, but fingers crossed that can change. And also that we'll have football and basketball in the spring and winter seasons that I'll be able to do the scoreboard operating for, and that's something I very much enjoy doing. You can see my email address, which is my contact info at the bottom, typical first letter, last name @lths.net. That is by far the best way to get a hold of me, should you need to, and I will try my best to always reply to those within 24 hours at the latest. Okay, so let's look at last May's AP scores. You can see here in blue, we've got the LT percentage of students scores. In yellow, the state of Illinois, and then orange is the global scores. And you can see kind of on the left-hand side for the blue bars were kind of low, but that's good. Those are the 1 and 2 scores on the AP exam, which are the lower end of that exam. So we don't want to be ahead in those categories. And then you see the 3s, 4s, and 5s, and those are the scores that are typically accepted by universities for college credit. And you can see where this trend, even in the year of the pandemic, and we did remote learning for the last 2 months, going into that exam, and the exam format was all twisted around because it had to be online. You can see that we did remarkably well, and on a year-to-year basis, this graph really does look the same. We are far and away above both state averages and global averages on our scores, so we're very proud of that. Okay, some course expectations here. Now, this information can be found on the syllabus, which I'll show you where you can find a link to that. And it's also a video, so you can obviously stop and read this at any point. I think I just want to focus on participation. Had we been in a typical year and we were in a classroom, I would definitely expect participation on a daily basis, whether it be in large group discussions or in small group discussions or in lab settings. And none of that changes with our remote learning. Through Zoom meetings, we can do all those things. So I really don't want to miss a beat. I want our Zoom or our synchronous learning to really mimic what it would be like in person. And hopefully that's happening. And it's a learning experience. There's definitely a learning curve for me as well in all this. So hopefully we're doing well with that, and we'll just continue to get better. I do mention this to the students. You know, this is an AP course. It's a college level course, and there's going to be struggles. Okay, and you know, again, we're doing this in a much different setting, which you know adds another layer to it. But even in a regular year, it's a tough course, and there's going to be some struggle, especially initially. But I find that you know, students will kind of pick up on the flow and really settle in very soon and end up doing well. But you know, to struggle is not a bad thing. A lot of learning comes from struggling, and I've even shared this slide with a few students who have reached out and mentioned some of their anxiety about this and about their struggles, and it's going to be okay. It's good to do that. That's where, you know, learning comes from. So I don't mind that so much. Grading and assessment, again, I'm going to let this slide speak for itself. Pause and read over or look at the syllabus, but you know, LT has changed its grading policy, is now going A through F. So we're going to kind of equate the A through F to that, you know, 5 to 1 scale that the AP score is based on. And this will be comprised of summative assessments. So there'll be 3 assessments and then a lab summative score as well at the end of the semester that the grade will be based on. Within those summatives, there will be both multiple choice objectives and free response objectives, and it's kind of cumulative, so each test will kind of be a built-in retake of the previous test. And you know, again, you can read over the stuff, and you have questions, I'd be happy to walk you through it. It's a little bit confusing. And to be honest, it's our first time going through this with the grading policy change. So it'll be a learning experience for all of us as we go through it. But I'm happy to talk you through it. Again, a little bit more on the assessment and how you see this. There will be 7 grades, 3 multiple choice grades, 3 free response grades, you know, from those tests, those 3 tests, and a final exam where you get to retake any one of those components along the way. And it's kind of broken down into this point system. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Canvas page. You can get a link, find a link to Canvas off of the LT website. And if I take you to that Canvas page, okay, it's gonna look like this. When students log on to Canvas, they'll see all their classes listed. Once they click on physics, it'll take them to this page. They find their link to the Zoom meetings here. I share this page with 3 other teachers. We kind of all collectively work on the content for this page. And you can kind of see we got a calendar for each unit, okay? And it's broken into the synchronous stuff that they should be doing on a given day. My classes meet always on Thursdays. So on Friday is kind of the on your own part of it. And you can see here we've got our whole calendar, and there's these blue links take you to documents, websites, Canvas resources, whether they be quizzes or practice, you know, information. You can see we did some how-to videos here on graphing. This is where they're going to find all their information on a day-to-day basis. We will work off of this page during our synchronous time. We've got labs, tutorial videos, guided practice problems almost every day. They can upload labs and they can take assessments on those labs right here on Canvas. There are Canvas practices asynchronously they should be doing. There are worksheets along with keys. This is all the practice and formative work they should be doing. I'll put a formative score in Infinite Campus as well, along with the summative scores. And just know that formative score is like a mile marker as to where they're at and on how much they're participating and how much work they're doing and kind of how well they're doing it. And so that's a sign for me, it's a sign for the student, it's a sign for you to kind of see where you're at along the way. And then of course, all the way down at the bottom then, you know, at the end we'll have an assessment on Canvas that will include not only a quiz, but also an upload of individual work shown for those questions. All right, let me go back to my PowerPoint. All right, the next slide to look at is this one. This College Board puts out a lot of information, a lot of good information, and a lot of good resources. So we have, let me take you over to this page. Each student was given a join code to join the AP classroom, and I think everyone has done that by this point. So there are resources that they can find here, not the least of which, as I scroll down here, are these daily video lessons. Last year when we went to remote, College Board started putting out daily content in all subject areas, and they were probably like 45-minute videos to try to help us teachers get information across for the AP exams. Well, I think they found that worked out so well that they've actually gone ahead in this year and done these shorter, maybe 7 to 10-minute videos on skills. You can see the skills listed here, and they have them posted here on this College Board My Classroom website. So great resources. I can also assign multiple choice questions and free response questions. So this is a really good tool as well, and hopefully we haven't really talked about it a whole lot, but that'll be something, especially as we get closer to test time, I will share with the students as well. So that's a very, very good resource, and hopefully one that everyone is using. Okay, I gotta get back to my PowerPoint, and actually, well, that's the end of it. So thank you very much for watching. I know that went quick. If there are any questions, feel free to reach out via email, and thank you for your time and watching.